Hello, I'm Assistant Chief Brian Schaefer. Welcome to this edition of Second Alarm, the show that takes you behind the scenes of the Spokane Fire Department. Coming up on today's show, we'll honor our own the Spokane Fire Department's first annual Meritorious Award Ceremony. We'll visit Station 4 as they open their doors to a group of area children. And we'll also take you behind the grand opening in the Spokane Fire Department's museum and learn a little bit about the history of our organization. That and much more coming up on this edition of Second Alarm. This October, the Spokane Fire Department held its first ever Meritorious Awards ceremony. This was a chance for the department to get together and honor those who have made a difference in our community.
Well, it certainly is a pleasure to have all of you here tonight to honor and recognize the personnel of the Spokane Fire Department as well as other individuals for their special efforts. We're very pleased to have all of you here for this first ceremony for the Fire Department, and to join us in congratulating the recipients that we will honor. As I said, it's a first for us, and we look forward to many, many more of these in the future. The first presentation we'd like to make tonight is the Citizens Community Life Saving Award. The criteria for this award is the award may be granted to any member of the community who aids in saving the life of another within the city of Spokane. On June 16th at 2:55 a.m., Jack Schoonover was driving a tractor trailer shipping 4,000 gallons of diesel through downtown Spokane. Of gasoline through downtown Spokane. His vehicle was struck in the rear of the trailer by a passenger car that resulted in leaking gasoline and a subsequent fire. Realizing the immediate danger to occupants of the vehicle and nearby businesses, Mr. Schoonover, at his own risk, immediately moved the tractor trailer to a less populated area and positioned it in the middle of Ruby, allowing fire crews to make a safe fire attack on this fire. Mr. Schoonover is directly responsible for preventing a catastrophe which may have resulted in multiple injuries and possible fatalities. It's a pleasure of the Spokane Fire Department to present the Citizens Community Life Saving Award to Jack Schoonover. Mr. Schoonover. The next award is Medal of Valor. The criteria for the Medal of Valor is may be presented or awarded to a member of the Spokane Fire Department who, in the line of duty or while off duty, distinguishes him or herself in the performance of an act of courage involving risk of imminent serious physical injury with the knowledge of such risk for the purpose of saving and protecting human life, or in the course of the extended operation of a nature where he or she is continuously and singularly exposed to grave personal hazard, willingly accepts such risks in the service of the city of Spokane. 3 members will be receiving this award tonight. On September 20th, 2006, the crew of Engine 4 was dispatched to the State Street apartment fire. As companies were en route, it was reported that numerous persons were trapped on the upper floors of the building. On arrival, part of Engine 4's crew advanced a 2.5 line through the front door and attempted to move down the basement stairs to extinguish the fire. Members were met with extreme amount of fire and nearly untenable conditions. Lieutenant Ryan Redding remained on the first floor landing where he held the fire in check and protected the only means of egress out of the building. Ryan, if you'd come forward, please. The second presentation is to 2 individuals. On December 3rd, 2006, Lieutenant Bill Scheich and firefighter Ron Weston vented, entered, and searched a second-floor bedroom without the protection of a hand line while under heavy fire and smoke at the scene of a residential structure. the men were able to locate and remove a young girl and carry her to awaiting paramedics. Lieutenant Scheich and Ron Weston, firefighter Weston, if you come forward, please. Chief Leavenworth is going to present a special unit citation.
The criteria for special unit citation reads as follows. The special unit citation is awarded to any unit or specially constituted team within the department which has worked together toward a common goal. The citation may be awarded for a specific performance of exceptional quality or for continued professional performance and dedication to duty by the unit as a whole. We'll be giving 2 of these awards tonight. On September 20th, 2006, Captain Dave Hayworth, FEO Calvin Groth, FEO Gary Holmes, and firefighter Rick Pennington responded as a crew of Ladder 4 and arrived on the scene of a fire in the State Street apartments with several persons reportedly trapped on the upper floors of the building. Ladder 4 split into teams A and B and began raising ladders to the windows on the second floor. Due to their efforts, 5 tenants of the building who were unable to escape due to the interior conditions were successfully rescued. The crew was also responsible for rescuing another individual from his basement apartment where he was transported to the hospital. Gentlemen, would you please come forward? Calvin Grove. Oh, yeah, Gary Holmes. Okay, got it. On March 13th, 2006, at 2 a.m., a structure fire at 1923 West Broadway was reported to fire dispatch by police radio. The fire was discovered by Officer Zachary Dahl, who then notified dispatch asking for assistance from other patrol units. He then entered the front door and began yelling and pounding on apartment doors to awaken residents within. He started with the upper unit as it appeared to be where the heaviest smoke was emanating. He was assisted within 2 minutes by officers Derek Bishop, Frank Earhart, Scott Haney, and Paul Gorman. Some of the officers entered the upper unit with Dahl, where they awakened and assisted 3 residents out of the structure. Officer Gorman reported extremely thick smoke conditions and paint melting off walls in this unit. Officers also awakened residents from 2 other units and led them to safety. According to the nominator, it was his belief as a chief officer that these police officers made a significant difference in the survival of the occupants, any if not all of whom could have perished in this fire. Officers, would you please come forward?
The department also honored Battalion Chief Bob Hanna and Lieutenant Andy McLeod with the Distinguished Conduct Award. Chief Hanna was awarded for his actions in stabilizing a critically injured Spokane police officer at the scene of a traffic accident. Lieutenant McLeod was honored for his actions to save a patient during an auto extrication at the River Park Square parking garage. Retired Fire Captain Mike Zambrisky and Fire Equipment Operator Jack Tritt both received the Meritorious Service Award for their outstanding service to the Spokane Fire Department. Also that evening, the department held its grand opening of the Spokane Fire Department Museum at the Training Center. Retired Deputy Fire Marshal Tom Heckler has worked for years to preserve the rich heritage of the Spokane Fire Department. For him, it's truly a labor of love.
It's our pleasure to be able to dedicate the Spokane Fire Department Museum and have a formal place. I know Tom Heckler for many, many years has worked hard to secure as many of the assets that he could of the history of the Spokane Fire Department. And it's nice to finally have a place to be able to post those and for people to see. We hope it has a grand future and a growing future. We can't thank you enough for all you've done, Tom, and we look forward to many more years preserving the history of the Spokane Fire Department.
Thank you.
So I'm sure if you want to say anything?
You said it good.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to uncouple a couple of pieces of hose as opening the ceremony. So you go right ahead. It's my pleasure to hold and let you do the.
This feels like it's got a lot of pressure on it, Chief.
There we go, Thomas. Good deal. Thank you.
We had a wonderful program here. There was a great award ceremony that we had for the firefighters on the fire department. And then we also had our grand opening for our museum. And the Fire Department Museum is located at the training center. We got about a 10 by 30, 300 square foot space. We have nice display cases that we purchased. And in there we have our memorabilia and archives on display with interpretive things in it. Well, for me, it started with a little note that Chief O'Connor wrote me back in 1978, and it's on a piece of tablet paper. It says, little Tommy Heckler is doing a museum project for the fire department. If you can help him out, do it. And so I've been working off of that authority for 36 years.
I'm Sparky the fire dog.
We have fire prevention items on display. We have numerous photographs of the old fire station. We have civil defense and Geiger counters, and out in the lobby area we'll have, which we have the three different showcases, leather helmets on display. We have Life Pack 4 and 5. We have rebreather apparatus. Anything that's old, we got in the display cases.
Spokane Fire Station 11 has some new curb appeal thanks to the generosity of one couple. For Dr. Fran Watson and Mary Rush, it was a chance to honor the work that Station 11 does every day.
And I just think that the folks that work here should have their name on the front.
We were recognizing a contributor who contacted the fire department this year about wanting to get a station designator at Fire Station 11 down here on South Perry. Her parents live here in the neighborhood, and she is back and forth from Minneapolis and recognized that we didn't have any station numbers. So she contacted us and said, I'd really like to contribute to the fire department to get that done.
My partner Mary and I were walking to the library, and she said, Fran, what fire station number is this? And I said, I don't know. And so when I was out on a bike ride later that day, I stopped to talk to one of the firemen, and he told me it was Station 11, and it just kind of got into my head that I should see about trying to put up the sign on there. And there were two big apartment fires when I was here this summer, and I thought, man, they should have it.
We're extremely proud to have the designations up. I know that the personnel that work here at the station think they look super, and we were really happy to be able to recognize Dr. Watson for her contribution. Thank you very much.
Each year in the United States, an estimated 2,800 children aged 14 or younger are injured and 850 killed in residential fires. It's never too early to teach children the importance of fire safety. We caught up with a group of parents and their children as they got a tour of Fire Station 4 and learned how to be fire safe.
Does anybody know how to call the fire department? How?
911.
911.
We had an opportunity tonight to host some of the families that are connected with the early Head Start. And so that means that usually they have Head Start workers going into the home, and they don't often have a chance to all get together in a group. So it was a wonderful opportunity for them to come here.
Well, thank you kids for coming down, and right now I'm going to show you guys Rescue 4 right behind us.
We're always glad to work with any parents of preschoolers, because preschoolers are something like 2.5 times more likely to die in a fire than the average person. So children 5 years of age and younger are so vulnerable to fire and also to burn injuries, especially scalds.
Your shirt right now was on fire. What would you do? What would happen if you just started running? What do you think that fire would do? It would kind of get fanned. It would like be blowing on a fire, and it would get fanned, and it would get bigger and bigger.
We're hoping that this kind of connection instills in families that awareness of how important it is to have protections in their home with smoke detectors that are always working, and that the matches and lighters are always out of sight, out of reach.
Well, now we're going to use these ropes and these pulleys, and I'm going to make you 3 times stronger.
It's an opportunity for the kids to see who some of the community helpers are with our firefighters working in the city of Spokane, so we appreciate that aspect of it as well.
Put your hands like that, and that's what it looks like in a fire.
It helps them to see some of the varieties of things that they have to do and how dangerous it can be, how much training is involved in being a really competent firefighter, and also the connections that the firefighters have with the community, the way in which they interact with the kids and the families, I thought was very impressive.
Thanks for watching this edition of Second Alarm. We always welcome your comments and suggestions. Feel free to contact us at fire@spokanefire.org or give us a call at area code 509-625-7000. You can find out more about the Spokane Fire Department by visiting our website at www.spokanefire.org. There, you will also find back episodes of this program, Second Alarm. Thanks for watching, and please stay safe.